400 plus years on atrocious acts. We suffer PTSD throughout our generations from the trauma and war crimes committed against us. Still being lynched, still being hunted, we're still oppressed. Kissing our boots at the most you never can do. Gotta watch my step, cause our enemies cowardly creep. And they honest when we go on the streets, full of lies and deceit. See the streets trying to devour the sheep. We get devils on the trail the weak. So we gotta be wise and see the lies of their philosophies. Living out these biblical prophecies. They push their knees on the giant man. We went from saints to prison. They bring the flat to a fire man. What families fall apart. These crackers gotta suffer local. Give me for my corner thoughts. They hungry while they took our ladies to rape. They turn around and use our babies for rape. I can't think straight. How much more is in the tape? They keep a crime justify the hate. Maybe that's the proof. I thank the Lord for this truth. I tell these crackers this is what they can do. They don't kiss our roots. Do what the scriptures say and do. So my people know these prophecies are true. They don't kiss our roots. And so we're acting humility from 100 plus years of captivity. Kiss our roots. For all the pain and oppression, for all the lies and deception, Lord, kiss our roots. Get on the knees in your hands and lift up the dust, you understand? I don't think they understand. We got SHALAM, puts on the power. I came out here. We see the nations, they gon' serve us and bow down. In Texas, we gon' know the Gentiles is bow down. Israelite, we take the kingdom, each soul, so we quick to say to my brother, we gon' be Lord over you. You a liar, you gon' have to pay for that. You a dog, get on all fours, you a slave. You don't learn problem waters from these preaching topics. Righteousness don't cover the earth, they can't go never stop it. You say you're sorry, but I ain't got nothing to say to you. So you apologize the way the Bible says you. And I don't give a damn about your little children. All the love I got go to my nation and we build it. Sons of the wicked and stay on vision and we're headed by down before the children scream. Look, kiss our boots. We what the scriptures say and do, so my people know these prophecies are true. Look, kiss our boots. And so we're acting humility, 400 plus years of captivity. Kiss our roots. For all the pain and oppression, for all the lies and deception, Lord, kiss our roots. Get on your knees in your hands and lift up the dust, you understand? This place for people and stuff, people purpose and agreements and love. I see my people hurting. I pray the Lord send them evils and comes to cut our enemies no slack. We know we won't say shoot us in our back. We in the midst of snares, don't dare make any fault. Forget about the lies that you were taught. We know we're going for the old, no show favors for our youth. These devils shoot us for talking practice like we should. Hate mass genocide, or they throw us all in cages till the neighborhoods is gentrified. They'll slaughter for their crimes, it's a death of reason, which is the Lord, they destroy, they burn. He agrees with patience and the faith, they evil pride justify the hate, maybe that's the proof. I thank the Lord for this truth. I tell these crackers, this what they can do, devil kiss our boots. Do what the scriptures say and do, so my people know these prophecies are true, devil kiss our boots. And so we're acting humility, 400 plus years of captivity. Kiss our roots. For all the pain and oppression, for all the lies and deception, Lord, kiss our roots. Get on your knees in your hands and lift up the dust, you understand? Lord, kiss our roots.
All right, go ahead, clap it up, clap it up, clap it up, clap it up. Hey, Shalom, Israel. This is the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. Started out at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General YAHANNA. Man, I'm just going to let you know, man, it's time to wake up, man. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, it's time to wake up. You seeing what's going on in the world. You're seeing what the government is doing. You see what Trump's administration is doing. It is time for us to wake up. Understand your oppressor has a job to do. Understand the devil, the biggest deceivers, because that's what a devil is. A devil is a deceiver. They all have a job to do. And what is their job to do? Their job is to destroy the chosen people of the Most High God. They are going to do their job well. It's time for Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians to do their job. Our job is to follow our God, follow our power, the most high power above all other powers on the face of this earth. And the only way we can do that is by following the laws, statutes, and commandments. Let's go to Hosea. Let's go to Hosea 4 and 6. Once you got it, go ahead and read, man. Because the world we're living in is showing you that they done got to the point where they're trying to bring back segregation. They're doing it. Why? Because they feel like America was great when we were separate. And I'm okay with that. I say, you know what? Let's segregate. Bring it on. Bring it back. Go ahead. Because maybe, just maybe then, Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians will learn to gather themselves together, O nation that's not desired, and let's work together. Because if we work together, we ain't got to worry about nobody else on the face of this earth. You want to know why? Because they need us. They let segregation start. How are you going to get roads built? How are roads going to get paved? How a house is going to get built? How are y'all going to remodel anything without them Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian brothers? Y'all want to do segregation? All right, then you know what? That's fine. Go ahead and have your towns where you have your food at. Because I'm telling you right now, ain't nobody cooking better than Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians.
That's right.
I don't know nobody that cook a better burrito taco or lingua or cabeza or barbacoa taco than our Hispanic, Puerto Rican, Colombian brothers and sisters. I'm telling you right now, you talking about some jerk chicken, jerk oxtails, jerk lamb chops. Man, you talking about rice and peas and like, ain't nobody doing that better than them Haitians. Ain't nobody doing that better than Benjamin. Oh, you talking about some soul food. Oh, okay, so you what? Once y'all, once y'all fully segregated, oh, what are y'all gonna do about soul food? Because y'all love our food. You love our women. For the other heathens, they love the men too. So what are you going to do? You're gonna be around here trying to get stuff that you are no longer supposed to have. And that's the problem, man. I'm okay with segregation. Let's segregate. Let's go ahead. Push the button so that way we can segregate. But Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians understand this. Your oppressor is trying to do something to you. Go ahead and read once you got it up. Yep.
Chapter 4, verse 6. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge.
Our people are destroyed from a lack of knowledge. Understand this. Why do you think that they're taking Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian history out of schools? Why do you think that they're trying to take it off of the internet? They don't want you to know your history. Why? Because if you don't know your history, they can make history whatever they choose to make it. And that's what your oppressor been doing. They've been trying to make history whatever they feel like making it. They're trying to make the winners, they feel like they're the winners and we're the losers. You know how you can find out about most of histories? You got to ask the winners. Can you ask the losers? You can't ask the loser. Why? Because the losers is all dead. The losers is all gone. The losers is probably in a low state somewhere doing crack cocaine, doing crack, doing all kind of different things, heroin. And they under the bridge somewhere and they just destroyed because they done seen so many horrific things happen to them. That's what your oppressor is doing right now. It says my people are destroyed from a lack of knowledge. why do we have such a lack of knowledge? We have a lack of knowledge because our oppressor has done his job. Our oppressor decided that they were going to tell us what we are. Our oppressor decided that they were going to get us under their thumb and change everything around. And it's all because Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, we would not follow the Most High's laws. Because we wouldn't follow the Most High's laws, we are now able to be destroyed by our oppressors. Hey, that's our problem right now. We don't have to be destroyed from a lack of knowledge. The only thing we got to do is get from under the thumbs of the oppressor. The oppressor has taken your knowledge out of schools. He has also taken the knowledge out of churches. They know that that's what you want. Hey, do me a favor. Either pull that mug back or turn it off on my phone. Yeah, you can pull it back. That's what your oppressor has done. Why you think that they have schools? They have seminary schools that your pastors have to go to learn the Bible. Instead of them coming into the I.S.U.P.K under commanding General YAHANNA, learning the truth, they tell your pastors, you got to go to our seminary school. And once you learn the Bible from us, then you can teach your people the Bible. But you're not knowing what the Bible really is about. Because what you say is, you say that the Bible is for everybody. You know, whoever, all people, if you call on the name of the Lord, all of you will be saved. How is everybody going to be saved when the Bible keeps talking about ye men of Israel? Oh, Israel, hear these words. Like, how is that going to happen? It's not adding up. But they knew for a fact. Let me tell you something. Your oppressor knows his Bible way more than you do. You want to know why? Because they study the Bible. Because they use the Bible to try to destroy you. They have to know the Bible inside and out so that way they can turn it to fit their agenda. And that's what they've been doing. They've been doing it for so long now, we no longer recognize that we are being destroyed by our oppressor. Our oppressor has done it to Big Mama. He has done it to our grandmother, our great-grandmothers, now to our mothers, now to us. They have put these righteous, so-called religious leaders in places in the hood. They have put all these motivational speakers like your Creflo Dollars, your Joel Osteens, and your T.D. Jakes. They have put those type of people in front of our faces to do what? To give us a lack of knowledge. They are doing the best that they can to keep us at a low state. They don't want you to understand, and they don't want you to know that the Lord has chosen you to be a special people unto himself. Above all nations on the face of the earth, the only thing that you have to do is come to him and do what he's asking you to do and follow the direction that he gave Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indian people to do. If you would just follow what he said, then we will be way above all the other nations on the face of this earth. But you know what? We're hard-headed. We're stiff-necked people. So because of that, Hosea 4:6 is exactly what we are and who we are. Go ahead and read.
Hosea chapter 4:6. My people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. Because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee, that thou shalt be no priest to me.
Keep reading.
Seeing thou hast forgotten the law, thy God, I will also forget thy children.
And you wonder why we getting killed out on these streets. I mean, unalived on these streets. You wonder why we're sitting here dealing with all the problems that we're dealing with. You wonder why we're locked up. You're wondering why we're in such a low state. We're in such a low state because we will not follow the Most High's laws. You know what we feel like? We feel like weed is more important than following the Lord. We feel like doing all kind of drugs, popping jiggers. We feel like popping bars. You know, it's not a problem with us getting drunk every now and then. It's not a problem with us smoking hookah. It's not a problem with us partying and having sex with a bunch of women, and for women having sex with a bunch of men. That's not a problem. And because we think like that, the Lord is like, you know what? You have rejected my knowledge. You have rejected my laws. My law said, don't do those things. You can't say that you serve the Lord and be a drunkard. You can't be an alcoholic and serve the Lord. You want to know why? Because you drink to the point where you are incoherent. You drink to the point where you are no longer able to do anything. You can't say that you serve the Lord and that you are his priest and you're sitting here high out your mind. What, you feel like you're getting high so you can be higher to the Lord? You can be closer to the Lord by how high you get? No. You can't say, I'm a priest and shoot up heroin. You can't say you a priest that follow the Most High's laws with that white girl sitting on your nose. Because we decide all the time to reject the Lord's laws, statutes, and commandments. You wonder why he rejects us. You wonder why we're sitting here in a low state. You wonder why we're put in these prisons and these jails doing life behind stuff we didn't even commit. Do you know there's so many innocent brothers and sisters that's doing life behind crimes they did not commit? You want to know why? Because they follow the street code. Oh, you know what? Hey, I ain't commit the crime, but because that's my partner, I'm about to do life behind bars for them. So your partner decides to not follow the law, statutes, and commandments and commit sin, but you're the one that's going to take the charge for them. The Lord has something planned for you. If that was the Lord's plan, then let the Lord's will be done. But a lot of our people are put in messed up positions because we are around people we should have never been around from the beginning. See, when we became priests and prophets in the I.S.U.P.K, man, we decided to let those childish things go. We decided to not be around things that could take us away from our families. I'm a husband and I'm a father. I got to be there for my wives and I got to be there for my children. How can I do that if I'm chilling around people that don't care about their lives and put me in a position where now I'm facing a murder charge off of something I didn't do? That seems real dumb of me. But what does the Bible say? My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. And our people, they decide to reject the knowledge of the Lord all the time. But then they wonder why the Lord whoops them the way that he does. Because he told you he wanted you to be a special people. Not who you chose you want to be, but who he chose you to be. Your choice and what the Lord's choice was for you are two separate things. The only way you can start doing what the Lord asked you to do is for you to get out this world and come into the I.S.U.P.K. Once you start following the law, statutes, and commandments, then you can start being the person that the Lord wanted you to be from the jump. Go ahead and keep reading, bro.
Verse 6. as they were increased, so they sin is weak. Therefore, will I change their glory into shame.
The Lord has to change our glory into shame because what do we do? Do we increase the law, statutes, and commandments? Nah, we increase our sin. Because we're so destroyed from a lack of knowledge listening to these Christian churches and these pastors that don't know the Bible. And for some of these pastors that do know the Bible and deciding to teach your people wrong, bro, shame on you. You're increasing your sin as well. Every pastor that knows for a fact that Christ is a black man from the tribe of Judah, but you're teaching them to serve this Caucasian Jesus. Understand this. You're going to have to deal with that. You're going to have to answer to that because you know what you are doing? You're telling them self-consciously to love white over their own. But that's what your oppressor wanted anyway. And you wonder why we call your oppressor the devil the Bible speaks of. Your oppressor wanted you to think that white was right and black was wrong. If you black, Hispanic, and Native Indians, they wanted you to know for a fact, hey, you know what? You are one of the worst people on the face of this earth. Why do you think that they always call us drug dealers? Why do you think they always call us murderers or unalivers? Go ahead, Doc. They call us super predators. You want to know what's crazy? Edomites are more predators than anybody else on the face of this earth. Look, let me tell you something. Those heathen nations, it's crazy that they call blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians super predators. Caucasian people, which is Edom, the Moabites, which is the Chinese, Hamites, which is Africans, and the East Indians, they are known. This is proven facts that they are known for having set up marriages. And these are older people that get to the young at a young age and be like, you know what? We can either arrange a marriage or I want to marry this person as soon as their flower hits. How many times have you heard about a Moabite, a Chinese or an Asian person having an arranged marriage where there's a young girl marrying an older gentleman? It's all over. So is East Indians. Them little Arabs with the little red dot on top of it, bro, they're known for that. But you know what? What do they push? They push the agenda that blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, we are super predators. They don't talk about the East Indian people that's sitting here selling their daughters to older men. They don't talk about the Chinese and Asian people selling their daughters to older men so that way their families can be strong. You wanna know why? Because that's not important to our oppressor. Our oppressor's job is to sit here and destroy our knowledge, to make us look like we are something worse than what the Lord has chosen us to be. And it's time for blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians to stop it. It's time for us to wake up. It's time for us to do a change. So that way we are not following into the narrative of these other nations. Let's go to the book of James, chapter 4, verse 7. Once you got it, go ahead and read it from the Bible.
James chapter 4, verse 7. Submit yourselves, therefore, to God. Resist the devil, and he will flee from you.
Read it one more time.
James 4, verse 7. Submit yourselves, Therefore, God.
What does it mean to submit yourself?
God. Yeah. Get out of control.
You said what?
Get out of control.
Who's in control?
God.
So when you are choosing to submit yourself, you're choosing to give control over to who?
Most High.
So submit yourself to the Most High. Cleave to the Most High. Follow his laws, statutes, and commandments. Give all control to the Most High God. And it also says to do what to devils?
Resist the devil.
Resist the deceivers. Resist them. And keep reading.
And he will flee from you.
See, understand this. If Israel would come back to the Most High and follow his laws, statutes, and commandments, we wouldn't fall for the tricks that the oppressors have for us. We wouldn't fall for the snares of our oppressor. We wouldn't sit here and do the things like envying them, trying to do the things that they do. Because every time we've ever done the things that our oppressor have done, where have we ended up?
Sure.
Destroyed, in jail, or in a casket. Understand, man. Don't fall for the tricks and traps. They just want us in jail. Not only do they want us in jail, they want us high out our minds so we can no longer do anything. We can no longer be who the Lord wanted us to be because our mind is now gone. Our mind is destroyed because the only thing we can think about is getting that next high or getting that next drink. You had something, sis? Go ahead, grab the mic real quick. Right. Hey, give that sister a hand, man. What the sister brought out was heavy. And that's how they're doing us right now. They slave us. See, I don't call going to work going to a job. I call it going to slavery. Because they slave us so much that the one day that you get off or the 2 days that you get off, what are you doing the whole entire time? You're partying. You're doing all kinds of things. You're going out, spending plenty of money. Some people will say, I spend too much money when I go out. Why? Because you're trying to enjoy your time before you go what? Right back into captivity. Go right back into slavery. Understand, man. There's rules to the game. And your oppressor, let me tell you something. Your oppressor knows one thing. They know how to play the game. And what they are doing is trying to destroy you. But the Bible is telling you to submit yourself to the Lord. If you learn how to submit yourself to the Lord, you don't have to worry about your oppressor playing tricks on you, getting you to do things that you shouldn't be doing in the first place. You understand what I'm saying? Go to, if you could, brother, go to Romans 16 and 7, 16 and 17. Because look, let me bring this out as well. Not only is your oppressor pushing the agenda for you to be drug addicts, for you to disobey the Lord, but what is he also pushing the agenda on? For you to be effeminate. Why do you think that there's so many transgenders out here? Why do you think that there's so many people that are of the alternative lifestyles? Because that's the agenda that they want to be pushed. They are destroying Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indian brothers and sisters because everybody now, women want to eat out women, and men want their back blown out by men. And that's crazy. That's crazy. The Lord said that a man needs to be with a woman and a woman needs to be with a man. Not a man be with a man and a woman be with a woman, or a woman with a transgender, or a man with a transgender, or have transformers. Like, the Lord never said that he wanted Decepticons in the midst. I've read this Bible. I've never known for the Lord to say, be ye a Decepticon and do the works of my people. I've never heard the Bible say, be ye a Decepticon. But that's what we deal with. Go ahead, Right. Right. But is that of the Lord? Is that what the Lord chose for us? Or that's what the oppressor has chosen for us? The oppressor, look, and that's the reason why we should have never dealt with the oppressor. Go ahead and read that scripture for me, Bible shop. Hey, the bar.
Now I beseech you, my great now I beseech you, brethren, mark them which cause division and offense, contrary to the doctrine which ye have learned, and avoid them.
Read that one more time. Read it slow.
Romans 16 or 17. Now I beseech you.
Hold on. What does it mean when I say, now I beseech you, brethren? I beseech you, brethren. What is that saying? That's like slang. Hey, brother, hey, if I may beseech you, my brother, what does that mean? Hey, brother, hey, if I could holler at you real quick, brother, like, hey, listen to me well, brother. Let me beseech you. Let me holler at you real quick, brother. Mark them that do what?
Which cause division and offense, contrary to the doctrine which ye have learned, and avoid them.
Understand this, man. Let me put it in layman's terms. Hey, brother. Look, man. Let me tell you something. Let me holler at you real quick. Be careful for those people that want to cause division and tell you to do things contrary to what the Bible says. Watch out for those people. Watch out for those people over there because they don't care about the laws, statutes, and commandments like you should. Black man, Hispanic man, and Native Indian man. Beware of those people. Beware of those sisters that's out here telling you that it's okay for you to dress like a whore, sister. Beware of those, man. Watch out for them. You want to know why you need to watch out for them? Because they're going to put you in a bad position with your God. Your God that's been set on high. Your God that sit on a high place, the highest place of all, looking and seeing that his people are being destroyed. He said, you know what? Only thing I need y'all to do is follow me. And if y'all follow me, I'll set y'all on high above all people on the face of this earth. But what do we choose to do? We choose to be whores. We choose to be whoremongers. We choose to be prostitutes and sluts. That's what we choose to do. Go ahead, sis. Sister has something she needs to say.
I've been thinking about this sometimes. Amber Rose, she started like this
But we don't. And what you said was heavy because, look, we all know Amber Rose. Everybody know what Amber Rose was known for. Amber Rose is known for being a what? A slut. Being a whore. Because what? That's all she's known how to be. She only knows how to be a whore so much that she has embraced it. And she wants everybody else to embrace being a whore. Why? Because she is doing the will of who? What? Say it louder, sis. She is doing the will of her father, who is the biggest deceiver on the face of this earth. But Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, what should you have done? Instead of following behind her, what should you have done? You should have followed your own coach. But what you should have done was exactly what the scriptures say. What did the scripture just say? Read it from the beginning.
Romans 16:17. Now I beseech you, brethren, mark them which cause division and offense, contrary to the doctrine which ye have learned.
Look, mark them. See the Amber Roses, you needed to mark her. You need to be like, whoa, 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 whoa. Hey man, y'all see that little trap that they just set out? You see that little girl right there? Right there? Yeah, man, she ain't nothing. Oh, you see that little Ice Spice? You see that little girl right there, right there? Yeah, man. Hey, nah, we ain't doing that. We ain't following that movement. I'm looking for a woman. I ain't looking for a hoe. I'm looking for a Ruby. See, the difference between a slut and a Ruby is this, man. A Ruby, you won't know what she has to offer you until you have her. She'll show you all the good qualities of her, but she's not projecting herself to be a slut for everybody to see. The only way you know that she is somebody that is a fulfiller, I'm gonna say it like that, a fulfiller. The only way you know that a Ruby is a fulfiller is for you to be that special person that she wants to fulfill. A slut, everybody done had a turn with her. You wanna know what's crazy? Do you know that do you know Sexy Red she's happy to be a slut? She's happy to be a woman, a promiscuous woman that has a bunch of diseases. And she walks around with it like, you know what? I'm happy. You know, that's who I am. I embrace it. No, sis. No. See, what we used to call that back in the day is an STD cocktail. You shouldn't be happy to have an STD cocktails and just be okay with that. You should be a more submissive and loving woman that only wants one man. So that way you not walking around here with the Gonda Celephanes of Syphilanius around here with bumps, burns, crabs, and bruises all up and down your body. But those things come about because what? Our people are destroyed. And our people are trying to be accepted. We don't need to be accepted by everybody. Our oppressor don't need to accept us. We shouldn't care about our oppressor accepting us. We should only care about the Most High accepting us. And the Most High ought to let you know how he'll accept you. If you are part of the 12 tribes of Israel, the only thing you have to do is this. Follow the law, statutes, and commandments every single day. Fight those demons every single day. And the Lord will accept you as his own. That's the only thing you have to do. But you have to choose that. Go ahead and keep reading.
Verse 18. For they that are such serve our Lord Jesus Christ.
Read it again.
For they that are such serve not our Lord Jesus Christ,
Keep going.
but their own belly, and by good words, fair speech, deceives the heart of the city.
Understand this, man. These people that are put in place to deceive Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, I'm talking about your religious leaders. I'm talking about the oppressors, rag dolls. I'm talking about your oppressor. I'm talking about all the people that claim to have, you know, oh, you know what? They're the token black folk, kind of like the $5 Indian. Man, watch out for those people. Because they're going to say all these things to you to get you to start following them. But really and truthfully, they're not serving the Lord. They're serving themselves. They're serving their bellies. They're serving their pockets. And they just want you to follow them. Because if you follow me, then what happens? What happens after you follow the oppressor or his people that he put in place to destroy you? What happens?
You destroy.
Not only are you destroyed, but who else is destroyed? It goes down the line. If I destroyed a black man, I destroyed a black woman, I destroyed a black children. If I destroyed a Hispanic man, I destroyed a whole lineage. Why do you think that they went after our great-great-grandparents? They've been doing this for years. For what? Why?
So when they were saying rulership, it doesn't have to go back to captivity.
Exactly. If I destroy you now, I don't have to worry about you later on gathering yourselves together and becoming something strong. Because you'll always stay destroyed. That's what it is. I'm playing chess while y'all playing checkers. And if I know that I can either get you destroyed from drugs or locked up behind drugs and locked up behind murders, unalivings, then I no longer have to worry about you. I no longer have to worry about you gathering yourselves together. I no longer have to worry about you becoming something strong and speaking against the things that I wanted you to speak against. I want you to be for drugs. This is what your oppressor says. They say this all the time in front of your face and you don't understand it. He wants you to be for drugs. Your oppressor wants you to be for being a whore. They want you to be for the alternative lifestyle members. You want to know what's crazy? You used to be able to call I don't want to be, see, and that's the thing that makes me upset. You can't call a gay person gay. You can't call a Decepticon a Decepticon. You got to come up with all these different words, because if you don't, then YouTube want to monetize. They want to sit here, take down your videos. Facebook don't want you to keep going on live if you calling out what they are. So now you got to come up with stuff like Decepticons. We got to talk about Transformers. That's crazy. Because the simple-minded folks really would think we're talking about really the Transformers. Nah, I'm talking about these alternative lifestyle members. I'm talking about the ones with the broke wrist. I'm talking about the drag queens and all that. I'm talking about those Decepticons. Because they dress one way, but really they another way. A Decepticon don't always got to be a man dressed like a woman. A Decepticon is also a woman dressed like a man. Both of them are Decepticons. But understand this, they have followed behind the oppressor so much that they no longer know who they truly are. And that's what your oppressor wanted. That's what the devil, the deceiver, wanted from the beginning. The deceiver's job was to destroy you to the point where you no longer knew what your identity was. And you, being a simple-minded person, you allowed it to happen. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, we were not born to be simple-minded. We were not born on the face of this earth to sit here and just fall for anything. We were not born to be green. But you want to know what? Right now, we're green. You want to know why? Because we follow behind green people. Let's go to 1 Corinthians 10 and 20.
First Corinthians chapter 10, verse 1. But I say, the things which the Gentiles sacrifice, they sacrifice together, and not to God.
Keep going.
And I will not that ye should have followed some fellowship with the devils.
Understand this, man. The things that our oppressor do, they're doing these things and they're not sacrificing to God. They're sacrificing to what? Other powers. Because you know what? You want to know what's crazy? Everybody in the industry knows they gotta, if you see anybody in the industry take a photo with this one old wrinkly devil, old wrinkly Edomite woman that's always dressed in all black, then you know what they always say? Oh, we know this person about to get to the money. Because what are they sacrificing to? They're sacrificing to deceivers. You're selling your soul for these industries to try to get rich. Little do you know, the whole entire time, you're just another little pawn. You're not a rook. You're not a queen. You're not a bishop. You're not the king. You're just a little pawn on their little board. And the only thing that they're doing is just like this. Oh, hey, they want money. Move them from right here to move them 2 spaces. Because in the beginning, if y'all ever played chess, understand it like this. In chess, you can always move your pawns. If this is the first time you move your pawn, you can always move it 2 spaces forward, right? And then other than that, you can move it 1 space. The only time that you can take somebody else's pawn is if it's diagonal. So what your oppressor is doing every time you decide to follow what they're saying do, is they're just pushing you up 2 spots. Okay, this is the first time I'm using them, move them 2 places. That way they feel like they got something. But once I got them moved up 2 places, now I really can't move them no more. Or is it only 1 spot or diagonal to take somebody else out? Why do you think that all the rappers are being taken out by other rappers? Like, let's think about it. The whole situation between Mo3 and Yellow Beezy. They got that. That's known. Everybody, if you look on any social media, is talking about that. Yellow Beezy and some other known associates of his dealing with the situation of Mo3's unalive. All this is coming about because they use Mo3 and Yellow Beezy both as pawns. See, Mo3 was the black pawn and Yellow Beezy was the other pawn. And they use them to go against each other till one canceled out the other. And what's happening at the end of the day?
They get rich. They get rich while they kill each other.
Your oppressor gets rich while one of y'all dead and one of y'all in jail. Like, you don't think that that happens all the time? That's why it says, but I say unto you, the things which the Gentiles sacrifice, they sacrifice to devils and not God. And keep reading. When it says, and I would not that ye should have fellowship with devils. The Lord don't want you to have fellowship with them. Why? Is it saying that all devils are bad? Is it saying that all Edomites and all oppressors are bad? No, it's not saying that. But what is it saying?
Show fellowship to them. We show fellowship to both sides.
Uh,
Okay, for us. So Sunday needs. So fellowship. Sure.
Understand this. The more you hang around them, the more you start acting like them. You're hanging around lawless people. You're hanging around people that it was okay for them to do things that the Lord said not to do. So if you hang around them long enough, what's going to end up happening? You start following their ways. So what does the Bible say do? Not to have fellowship with them. Don't hang around them, because the more you hang around them, the more you start acting like them. Keep reading.
Verse 22. Ye cannot drink the cup of the Lord and the cup of devils.
You cannot drink the cup of what?
Of the Lord and the cup of devils.
How can you serve the Lord? Like I said earlier, how can you serve the Lord with a heroin needle inside your arm? How can you serve the Lord if you snorting that white girl? If you snorting it on the table, how can you do his works? How can you do his work if you're locked up in prison? How can you do his work when the only thing you're doing is catching charges off of what your oppressor has you doing? Let me tell you something. People that sell, you will never be able to have enough time to do the work of the Lord. Why? Because you always on the street corners getting that bread, right? People that's in them crack houses, people that's in the meth houses and all that, what are they always doing? They always got the hustle. Or if you're an addict, what are you doing? Always. You always trying to look for that next fix. What about stealers? What about thieves? What are they always looking for?
Always looking for the next lick.
Always looking for the next lick. What about pastors? What are pastors always looking for?
They always looking for the next wife, next good, next girl,
they're looking for the next come up. And their next come up comes in multiple different ways. It can be money. It could be your wife seems like she's a great wife. Let me take her away from you. It can be like, you know what? I know your grandmother been at my church for 30 years and she always pays her tithes to us. So now what are they doing? Hustling you out your bread. You cannot say that you serve the Lord, but yet you sip of the cup of devils. You cannot say that, you know what? I follow the law, statutes, and commandments, but yet you're doing deceiving things. You have to choose one. It's either I'm a deceiver or I'm a follower of Christ. You can't do both. Is that it on that? Keep reading.
Ye should not be partakers of the Lord's table and table of devils.
It's just further letting you know. Well, you have to choose. Let me tell you something. You cannot choose the world and the Lord. You got to choose one. Because if you choose the world, then the love of the Father is not in you. But if you choose the Lord, the world will hate you. There's scriptures that say both. There's scriptures in the Bible in 1 John that says, love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. If you love the world and the lust of the world, the love of the Father is not in you. But the Bible also says, if you choose the Most High, and I'm going to paraphrase, if you choose the Most High, know that if the world hates you, know that it hated him first. Why did it hate him first? Because he was also somebody that stood against what the world wanted. The world wanted things to be this way. The world said, be gray. The Lord said, nah, you either black or white. That ain't no be gray. So what did the world have to do? They had to get him out the way. And what do you think that is doing to you now that you're choosing to serve him? It's trying to get you out the way too. But you have to stand 10 toes for the Lord. Drop that. Let's go to Ezra 9 and 12. Because this right here is something that we got to understand. This is the book of Ezra. No. Yeah, Ezra. Book of Ezra, chapter 9, verse 12. Let me know once you have it, all right? Like this, you got to understand. The Lord never wanted us to commingle with our oppressor. The Lord never wanted us to sit here and be joined together like this with these Gentiles, with these heathens. Now, I'm not talking about Jews that fell into the heathen ways of living. I'm talking about these actual heathens. I'm talking about the Edomites, Moabites, Hamites, and the Ishmaelites. The Lord never wanted us to be with them. He didn't want us like this with them. He's always wanted us to be segregated. The only people he wanted to join together was blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. The 12 tribes of Israel were the only people that the Lord said, you know what, be together. Everybody else, he's always told us to be segregated. Separate yourself from them. Because they are not holy like you are holy. We are the chosen people. We are the holy people of the Most High God. And we have to act like that. We have to show that daily. We have to choose that type of life daily. Go ahead and read once you got it.
Ezra, chapter 9, verse 12. Now therefore, give not your daughters unto their sons, neither take their daughters unto your sons, nor seek their place like their peace or their wealth forever, that ye may be strong and eat the good of the land, and leave it for an inheritance to your children forever.
Understand this, man. We were never supposed to be with their daughters. Black men, Hispanic men, Native Indian men, Puerto Rican men, Colombian men, Haitian or Jamaican men. You were never supposed to be with a Edomite, which is a Caucasian, a Moabite, which is a Chinese or Asian, a East Indian, or a Hamite. We were never supposed to be with them. And our women weren't supposed to be with their men. Why? Because they would do nothing but take everything that we worked so hard for from us. Now they'll have you sitting here doing what they want you to do instead of what the Lord wants you to do. And now what do you lose when you start allowing that? What do you lose?
You lose your culture in your house.
You lose your culture. You lose your inheritance. You lose everything that the Lord had for you because you are now taking on a different culture. What happens when most of these black men decide to date these Edomite women? What ends up happening? He ends up with either charges or unalive because she done snapped, or he ends up falling into their way of doing things. What happens if a black woman gets with an Edomite man?
Same thing.
Same exact thing. Shakar, put that down. The same exact thing happens, just differently. Those things, it's not a coincidence that when we get with these other nations, we start taking their culture. When a black, Hispanic, or Native Indian man gets with a Nigerian or a Hamite, now what you see him wearing now?
Yeah.
Man, that boy dashiki from the head to the toe. That boy got the Jesus Walk With Me 11s on. He wearing them sandals and everything. Because what? He done took on their culture. He done did everything that they done taught him. Now all of a sudden, now he want fufu. He gotta eat everything with his hands. Now everything is supposed to be eaten with their hands. Sis, you got something? Go ahead. Hold on. Get the mic. Exactly. Get that sis in here, man. Like she said it so perfect. You feel like you got the good life. That's what you feel like. You feel like you got a great life because of what? Now you over there where the grass look greener because the grass is fake. You over there where the house is bigger. You wanna know why? Because there's bodies in between that wall, so they had to make a bigger house for it. But now, what? You better not never go against me. Because when you go against your oppressor, what does your oppressor show you? They show you who they really are. They'll show you their strength. See, why you are a yes man or a yes woman to them, you know what they do? They sit back and they just look at you like, yeah, you know what? I got her. Oh, I got him. They doing everything that I want. Wait, hold on. Hey, they tripping. Hey, I said do this. Why are you? I said go left. Why are you going right? You know what? Hello? Yeah. I told them to go left. They going right. Yeah, come deal with that. Your oppressor show you who they truly are once you start going against them. That's why the Bible says, I never wanted my daughters with them. And I didn't want my sons with them neither. Because they don't know what it is to really get it out the mud. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, we should get it out the mud with each other every day. We should choose to get it out the mud with each other. Keep reading. You got it? All right.
Verse 13. All that has come upon us, remember our evil deeds, and for our great trespass. See that thou art our God.
Hold on. Go back. Go back to the end of 12 for me, Baba Shah. The end of 12, where it says, after it says the wealth forever, that ye may be strong. Yes.
That ye may be strong and eat the good of the land and leave it for an inheritance to children forever.
Understand this, man. Go to Galatians 5 and 16. Understand this. Everything that we're doing right now is not for ourselves. If you feel like everything that we're doing is for ourselves, then you're missing the bigger picture. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, we should not join hands with our oppressors. We should be segregated like Trump wants. Trump wants segregation. We need to say, bring it on. Bring on the segregation. Because maybe, just maybe now, the land that we have, it won't be taken away by these Edomites. Maybe the land will actually stay with the Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. You see how they want to gentrify everything. They want to take everything away from us. If we segregate, we'll actually have something. And we will keep an inheritance for our children. And we will learn how to be ye strong. Because we won't sit here and be hand in hand with the oppressor. See, the Bible says, though hand join hand, that your oppressor still has to pay for their iniquities. Go ahead and read that scripture you have for me. Come.
Galatians chapter 5, verse 16.
This is what we need to do.
This I say to you, walk in the Spirit, and ye shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh.
Understand this, man. There's a lot of lustful things out here. See, there's a lot of lustful things that are big and small. There's seen major and minor, right? Now, if you follow in the spirit of the Most High, you know you're not supposed to eat pork, crab, shrimp, and lobster, right? If you follow the spirit of the Most High God, you know that you are not supposed to have marriages with heathens. Now, also, do you know that you shouldn't be watching pornography? Because let me tell you something. What you should be doing is, if you want to imagine some stuff, imagine being with your wife. See, the Lord said that you can have multiple. So why are you worrying about these internet and these vixens when you got your own Ruby at home? They just look so nice, so loving, so patient and kind with her sweet words. Why are you worried about Give me some names, brother. Give me some names of some women that everybody wants to be. Sis, you got any names of some women? Everybody want to be infatuated with Ari or Carisha, Lil Miami, and Ari Lennox, or the Moneybag Yo's ex. Everybody want to look at them. Everybody want to look at. See, back in the day, you look. Hopefully, I don't show my age when I say this, but back in the day, everybody used to want to like Buffy the Body. Everybody used to like Cherokee and stuff like that. Like that back in the day, that's who everybody wanted. Everybody wanted those women. Everybody's infatuated with the Glorilla and all that. And now these youngsters, they all want to watch. They all want to be on Twitter or X. Why? Because you know what they say about X, right? You can sit here and see everything you want to see on Twitter. You don't even have to get no subscriptions to OnlyFans or nothing. But everything that's being pushed is OnlyFans, Twitters, and what's it called? Snapchat and all that. You know the rappers done said, Snapchat me that box. Snapchat me that box. Boosie said it too. Boosie said, if you put your box on live, I give you $1,000. Because that's the world that we're living in. They're not living in the spirit of the Most High God. They're living in the spirit of who? Devils. But see, we're supposed to be living in the spirit of the Most High God. And if we do that, and it says, and ye shall not fulfill the lust of thy flesh. You shouldn't be sitting here trying to fulfill the lust of your flesh. Not when the Lord gave you his spirit. Not when the Lord told you what his law, statutes, and commandments was, and how you should be, and how you should act, and how you should walk, and how you should talk. This is how we should be doing. This is what we should be doing. Hey, brother, let's go to Matthew 12 and 25. Matthew 12 and 25. Hey, y'all go sit down. Once you got to go ahead and read from the Baba Shah.
This is Matthew chapter 12, verse 25. And Jesus knew their thoughts. He said unto them, every king fighting against itself is brought to desolation. And every city or house fighting against itself shall not stand.
Brother, when you read that scripture, right? Tell me what you got from that.
How somebody won't stand. Okay, if our people are standing together, how can we rise? How can we obtain leadership? None of us want to stand together.
Exactly. If you want to be hand in hand with your oppressor, but everybody else in your house wants to not be hand in hand with them, can that house stand?
Nah.
Now, let me take it even further, right? Sisters, if you want to be the head of the household, but the Lord said, let your man be the head of the household, can that house stand if y'all are both fighting for who's going to be the head and who's going to be the second in command? A house can't be strong and a house can't stand if the whole entire time you're in the house, you're always fighting for a position. Everybody has their role. Everybody has a part that they need to play. That's like a car engine. If all the pieces of the car engine aren't tight and they aren't together, Can that car move forward?
Nah.
It's like that car can't move forward if all the pieces aren't doing their job. But see, that's what happens when you follow your oppressor instead of the Most High God. You start doing other things besides what the Lord has planned. The Lord told everybody what their job is and what their role are. And if you will follow your role and stay in your lane and follow what you were supposed to do, then the house could be strong. But as long as you feel like you can do more than what you think, more than what you were told to do, the house will always fall. A kingdom can't be a kingdom if people are trying to fight for rulership in the midst of the kingdom. If you don't want to follow the one true ruler, you want to be your own person, that kingdom gonna fall. You want to know why? Because you're gonna try to get people to follow you. And when those people that follow you go against the people that's following the one true king, then what happens? The house gonna fall. Why? Because now there's weak points in the house. There's weak points in the kingdom. And what does your enemy need? Your enemy just needs to find one weak spot, and they're gonna exploit it. That's why the Bible is telling Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, it is time for us to work together and time to separate ourselves from these oppressors. Because these oppressors have always looked for that weak point and exploited it. Now it's time to not to have a weak point. If we cut off all weak spots and weak points, our oppressor doesn't have a leg to stand on. And that's what we need to do, Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. We need to cut off the weak spot. Let's go to let's go to Leviticus 20 and 26. Yep, Leviticus 20 and 26. Once you got to go ahead and read for me. This is what we got to do. This is what the Lord wants for Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. And if we will follow this, we will be better. Go ahead and read once again.
Verse 26. And ye shall be holy unto me.
Read it again.
And ye shall be holy unto me.
The Bible is saying right here, you should be holy. You should be set apart and separate to me. Keep reading.
For I, Lord, am holy.
For I, your ruler, I, your king, I am holy. I am set apart. I am separate. I am peculiar. I want you to be just like me. Keep going.
And have served you.
Read it again. Severed.
And have severed you from other people, that you should be mine.
The Lord said, look, the Bible is letting you know, the Lord wants you to be set apart. That word severed means to, with authority, rip apart. Segregate yourself. Separate yourself from these heathens and work with one another, because that's what the Lord wanted you to do. Because he is holy and he wanted you to be holy as well. Follow his laws, statutes, and commandments. That way, what? We can be on the top instead of at the bottom. Stop trying to make marriages with these other nations. Stop trying to be hand in hand. Stop. Do what Zephaniah 2:1 said. Gather yourselves together, O nation that's not desired. And do what Leviticus 20:26 says. Sever yourselves from them. So that way you could be like your Father and be holy and set apart. So that way what it says, that ye should be mine. If you want to truly be the Most High God's, you have to sever yourself from these other heathen nations. It is time to wake up. It's time to separate ourselves from these other nations. And with that, we're going to say Imagine, which means to stand. Hey, if you could fix the camera real quick. Yeah, it's only yeah. We're going to give a courtesy salute to the brothers, then to the sisters. Men of Israel, Maju Shabbat, Maju, Barak, YAHANNA, YAHWEH Barakatah, Yamatah, Sar, which means first sisters. Men of Israel, Maju Shabbat, Maju, Barak, YAHWEH Yamatah, class dismissed.